Welcome, friends. The grouping of the houses is something truly unique in Krishnamurti Paddhati. I think I have created a couple of videos underlining the significance of house grouping. Let us once again look at the house grouping in Krishnamurti Paddhati in the light of Virgo or the Kanya Ascendant. Why Virgo? For no particular reason. One of my friends with Virgo Ascendant has been requesting me, so I thought I'll do one using the Virgo Ascendant. Now, for the Virgo Ascendant, Mercury is exalted and Venus is debilitated. So, Mercury, the planet of wisdom, becomes exalted in Virgo, and Venus, the planet of wealth, becomes debilitated. Thus, it is generally said that Virgo born people prefer wisdom to wealth, and that Goddess Lakshmi and Goddess Saraswati do not live together in one place. But is that true anymore? In this age of Kali Yuga, this might not be true, because during these times in Kali Yuga, where Mercury plays a significant role in fueling the information age, and in the process it is helping create millionaires and billionaires. So first look at the role of the 10th house as a part of the default grouping in Krishnamurti Paddhati. Now if you look at a typical Virgo chart, then you find that Mercury becomes the ruler of the ascendant and as well as the 10th house. So this is a default grouping for Virgo that connects 1 and the 10th, as Lord of 1 is also Lord of 10. What does it indicate? It indicates that Goddess Lakshmi and Goddess Saraswati can coexist. And the joining of 1 and 10, the joining of the handshaking between the first and the 10th house, it creates a very good Raj Yoga, and it promises a grand success to Virgo born people. And because the 1 and the 10th house can take Mercury people to great heights. So for Virgo ascendant, this is a very good combination. The Virgo ascendant has a default grouping of 1 and 10, because the Lord of 1, that is Mercury, is also the Lord of 10. So there is a default grouping between 1 and 10, and this particular grouping promises that Goddess Lakshmi and Goddess Saraswati can coexist. Planet in the star or sub of Mercury or Mercury itself activates the 110 default grouping, the handshaking between the first house and the 10th house. This is almost a guarantee for success in professional or the career life for the Virgo Ascendant. Virgo Ascendant will not fail. They are guaranteed to be successful. But there is only one small problem. If you look at from the 2, 6 and 10 combination that Sri Krishnamurti has pointed out for the career or the professional matters, then the 6th house, the 2nd house is for the Virgo ascendant is Venus. So Venus is fine, fast moving benefic planet, and the 10th house is Mercury itself, which is the lord of the which is the ascendant lord for the Virgo. But if you look at the 6th house, then it is ruled by Saturn, and 6th house plays a very important role in Krishnamurti Paddhati, because to be successful during these times one has to have competitive edge. So 6th house denotes that how far one will become successful when it comes to competition. And there is competition everywhere, in business, in career, in service, and in terms of making money. So there is always a competition. And so what sixth house does is that, since the sixth house for the Virgo ascendant is ruled by Saturn, so Saturn creates some kind of a delay and some kind of a frustration for the Virgo ascendant. Like I mentioned, the combination of 1 and 10th denote that Virgo are going to be successful in life. But most of the Virgo people, they have to navigate their way towards professional success after putting a lot of hard work. Why hard work? Because sixth house, which denotes hard work, is ruled by Saturn. That is significator of hard work. And Saturn is also a planet that creates frustration and that creates a delay. So for the Virgo ascendant, this is a default, combination. They are fated to go through this kind of an experience. And but the success is promised. It comes a little late in the life, and they have to put a lot of hard work, which Virgo people put a lot of hard work. They are known to put a lot of hard work. Now, when we are talking about the Saturn for the Virgo ascendant as a part for default grouping, then we see that the Saturn is the ruler of the fifth house and also the ruler of the sixth house. So this combination, the fifth and sixth, the handshaking between these two houses, this house creates a certain kind of a yoga, I would say Krishnamurti yoga. And the first is that it creates the necessity for the Virgo born people to borrow, and because sixth house is for the borrowing, and Saturn usually creates a situation where they have to borrow, and borrow for what? For the fifth house related things. And so the children, when they are raising their children, and so they might borrow money to for their studies or education. Virgo people ruled by Mercury, which is a planet of wisdom and intelligence, they will not ignore their children's education. So they will borrow money. And so this fifth and sixth combination, this creates the necessity to borrow. Second is that the fifth house is also the house of love affair, romance and love affair. And the sixth house is the house of some failures and disappointment, especially in the context of a relationship. And Saturn already creates that kind of a frustration. So Virgo people are fated. They, especially the Virgo people, love affairs is prone to some failure, disappointment, delays, and frustrations. Now let's take a look at the uh, house grouping that is created by Jupiter. So Jupiter rules the fourth house for the uh, Virgo ascendant and the seventh house. So the fourth and the seventh house indicate the spouse or the partner, mostly the wife or the husband. So the fourth is the domestic life. So this combination, the Jupiter, which creates a binding between the fourth and the seventh house, this is very good for the matrimonial life. So because it is Jupiter, so it creates a very peaceful environment in the house. And Jupiter people are very, they are religious and they are law abiding and they are true. So Virgo people are very fortunate. This is a default grouping that happens because of the Jupiter's binding of the fourth and the seventh house. So so they will get a good God fearing partner in the married life. And now if you look from the seventh house, then you notice that the Jupiter becomes for the partner, it becomes the lord of the 10th house. So the Virgo partners, husband of wife, usually they are they get into a professional life as well. So for Virgo, the Mercury creates a 1 and 10 combination, and but if you look from the seventh house, then it is the Jupiter that creates the 1 and 10 combination for the partner. And both of these planets are Mercury and Jupiter. They are very benefic planets, and they indicate some kind of a spiritual progress. So this kind of a very peaceful and nice married life is a part of Virgo's destiny. Now, if you look at the 2, 7, and 11 combination, the typical the KP combination for marriage, then you find that second house is ruled by Venus, which is a benefic. Seventh house is ruled by Jupiter, that is also a benefic, and 11th house is also ruled by a moon. That's also benefic planet. So Virgos usually get a very nice partner in their life, and their married life is usually very smooth and very pleasant. The Venus rules the house ninth and the second for the Virgo ascendant. So the 2-9 combination, the handshaking between the 2-9. So it creates an opportunity for the Virgo people to make money. Second house is for accumulation of money. And the ninth house indicates long journeys or the religious or educational institutions, even the interviews. So Virgo people, they will make a long journey and visit some, maybe some institutions or some foreign places, and where they will find some opportunity to make money, because this is what the 2 and 9 combination that is created by Venus indicates. So any planet in the Virgo ascendant that is in the star of Venus or in the sub of Venus or Venus itself will provide this kind of an opportunity to the Virgo born people. Now let's look at the last combination that is created by Mars. So Mars becomes the ruler of the the third house and the eighth house for the Virgo ascendant. So 3 and 8. These two houses are grouped together by Mars, and this combination is not really good for the Virgo ascendant because it indicates that they might incur a loss whenever they make some short journeys, because that is what the third house indicates. And but more than that, the third and the eighth combination creates at least one yoga that Sri KSK has often pointed out in his book, and that is about the partition in the house. See, the third house indicates the younger sibling, and third house is also the 12th house from the fourth house. So it creates, and since it has created this binding with the eighth house, so therefore the Virgos are prone to this kind of a thing. There is a dispute with the especially regarding the property with the younger siblings, and they get their share of money. But since Mars is there, since all this happens because of Mars, because the Mars is creating this kind of a house grouping between the third and the eighth. So then there is an exchange of some heated debate discussion. That is what the nature of Mars is. So that is one, I would say, yoga that usually will happen in the for the Virgo ascendant people, and this will obviously happen when the planets which are deposited in the star or sub of Mars become active, or even the Mars itself is able to give this kind of a yoga. So I have discussed all the house grouping combination for the Virgo ascendant, and so I'll pick up some more ascendant next time, and I will discuss that with you guys. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thanks.